Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and today's video is going to be in response to the question, do you curse or hex? This video is brought to you by the generous donations from viewers like you. So I was inspired to make this video because I was watching my friend Elliptica24 and she has a question of the week. If you haven't seen her videos on that, you should go over to her channel and check them out. And her question of the week, I don't remember what week it was, but it was, do you curse or hex? And I thought that this was an interesting topic, and a few of the other videos I've been doing have been talking about cursing and hexing, but hasn't really gone into detail about it. I figured now was a great time to answer this question and talk a little bit about curses. So the first thing I wanted to mention was, or define rather, is the word curse and the word hex. I know you'll find in books and perhaps even on the internet that these two words are used interchangeably, but it's my opinion that they are used interchangeably incorrectly. The word curse is actually from the Anglo-Saxon word, which means to invoke harm or evil upon another or upon something or someone. But the word hex is actually a German word meaning witch. So with that understanding, a hex is any spell cast by a witch or magical practitioner, regardless of the intention. So a hex is basically a spell. So if you were going to use hex interchangeably with the word spell, I would say, yes, that's correct. But a curse is a spell used to invoke harm. It's a malicious intention. Where a hex, you could do a hex with a malicious intention, but you could do a hex with a beneficial intention or a benevolent intention, okay? So, which brings me to an example of the hex shop in Salem is not just for curses. The hex shop in Salem sells spells for healing as well as for harm. Okay, so back to the original question, do you curse or hex? Of course I hex. I am a witch. I cast spells. I do hexes. Do I curse is, I think, the crux of this question. So, do I? I have. Have I recently? No. Will I in the future? Possibly. And here's why, or here's the heart of the matter. I don't like to use the word never, and I don't like to use the word always, because I can usually find a circumstance that I would break my own never or break my own always. Generally, do I go out cursing? No, I don't. And here's why. I spoke about this in another video. So if you've watched a few of my other videos recorded on this same day, even though they're not uploaded on the same day, you may get redundant information. In order for a spell to work, in order for a spell to manifest, the intention of the spell needs to be in alignment with the goal or the desired outcome. So if I am doing a spell on behalf of someone else, then that target or the person that I am sending the intention to would need to be in alignment or close alignment with the intention that I'm sending to them. Otherwise, it will not manifest, or it won't quite manifest with the full power of the intention being sent out. It's like tuning a radio, tuning a dial to find that frequency where there is perfect alignment. Like if I'm listening to the radio and I want to listen to Fun 107 here in my area, the frequency is 107.1. Does that mean I can't find the radio station on 106? No. Or 107? No. I can probably hear the radio station sending out their frequency or sending out their signal at 106, probably 106.5. I might even hear it better, but you'll get the full benefit of listening to that radio station if you're tuned into the exact frequency of 107.1. That's the same idea with spellcasting. So if I am sending out this energy, this intention, which is energy, this frequency, if I'm sending out this intention and the target isn't aligned with the exact frequency, the fullness of the spell may not work. So it requires a lot of preparation. It requires to know what it is I'm doing, to understand my intention, and to really have a full understanding of the target. So when we're trying, or when I'm trying to make changes upon someone else, if that person is my target and they're not consenting to what I'm doing, then they may put up resistance, or they may not be in alignment, which may make my whole process a waste of time. Curses, obviously, if I go up to someone and ask for their consent and say, hey, I'm going to curse you. A curse meaning I'm going to cause you harm. Are you okay with that? Are you going to give me permission for that? Of course, a person in their right mind would not give me permission and would put up resistance. And generally, curses are usually done in a very deceitful way or a hidden way, because if we're intending harm, you know, it's easier to do it like under the radar than right up in someone's face. At least from my perspective. You can go up to someone and hit them in the face, but generally it's easier to catch people off guard, you know, being sneaky about it. So the work required to cause harm, it's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of time. Now, my other feeling, and this is just my belief, these are all my opinions, obviously, is in order for my curse to work, the harmful intent to really take hold, I, as the spellcaster, would want to bring myself into the vibration and work up that energy and that emotion that I am going to send forth the intention with. I need to build up that power. And you need that energy, but you also want to put in your own will, your own emotion into it before you send it out. If I'm trying to cause harm, if I want to have this person have bad fortune, the best way for me to send that forward is to feel it myself. And if I'm going to align myself with harmful intent, misfortune, and all that negative, icky feeling things, I'm going to be putting myself in that alignment, and chances are my own reality may begin to be influenced and affected by that vibration that I'm residing in. And why would I want to manifest that for myself? Why would I want to manifest negative situations and harmful situations on myself? I wouldn't. Normally, I wouldn't. So I don't usually do that because I'm a pretty happy individual. I'm content, and I only want the best for people, and I seek out the best for people. I'm not someone who generally resides in that very angry, negative, heavy vibrations. It doesn't mean that I can't. It doesn't mean that I haven't. But I guess the residual effect or the consequences of what I have done or what I did did not put me in a very beneficial place. It didn't really aid my own expansion as an individual or a spiritual being, and it created a not so pleasant environment to live in. I would like to think that I would find a better way, a more beneficial way to handle situations, but I'm not going to say that I would not do it. It's not a regular practice of mine, but I have in the past, and I might in the future, depending on the circumstances. The one thing that, again, the idea of aligning yourself with a specific vibration or intention, and understanding that when you are residing or aligning yourself with things and you're sending out that stuff, you're going to also feel it. The idea of law of return is paramount in my magical practice. I understand that in order for things to be successful, visualization, being in that vibration, being in that alignment with the intention, makes for wonderful manifestations, but understanding that as I send it out, it is going to come back. So the law of return, what I'm residing in, cause and effect, that sort of thing, consequences is something I consider, which again is another sort of mark against doing curses. So these are the things that I consider before I do any sort of magical endeavor, before I cast any spells or hexes. Including those with harmful intent or curses. So, do I curse? Not on a regular basis. Have I? Yes, I have. If you have any questions in regards to this topic or any other topic, please feel free to contact me. And as always, I love you. Mwah. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to share it with others on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This way you won't miss any of my newly uploaded videos. And be sure you've connected with me on Facebook, either through my CricketSong fan page, Lunar Wisdom business page, or by joining the Sacred Circle.